Greetings friends, Jawless here. In this video I'm going to give you some tips and tricks for defeating Nightmare Grimm. Few fights in Hollow Knight are as challenging as Nightmare Grimm, and a player can spend hours on this boss before even breaking past the first phase. I finally beat the boss not too long ago, and I wanted to break down the things I learned during the fight and hopefully share some ideas to help you defeat him as well. I recommend waiting to do this fight until you have all of your charm notches, Shadow Dash, and Monarch Wings or the double jump unlocked. I used a nail-centric strategy for this fight, and I haven't tested the effectiveness of spells against Nightmare Grimm yet. The charms I ended up using for the fight were Fragile Strength. The charm won't break if you lose the fight during this. Quick Slash, Mark of Pride, and of course Grimm Child. You can't begin the fight without that charm equipped. I tried. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel for more gaming content. I really appreciate it. The first thing you need to know about this boss is that the typical strategy you've been using in Hollow Knight up to this point will not work against Nightmare Grimm. Up until this boss, I had a pretty solid strategy of doing as much damage as quickly as possible, taking damage and healing during the breaks. The thing with this fight is that you can't take damage. I learned very quickly that in order to be successful, I needed to take almost no damage during all of his moves, which meant memorizing them and learning how to avoid them at all costs. The only reliable times to heal are between phases, and you'll have time to gain 3 masks at most. This fight works like a dance. You need to learn each of Grimm's moves and how to respond appropriately and do damage and avoid damage. So let's break all these down. The first move we should talk about is his slash and uppercut. First, he slashes at you from the ground. This can be avoided just by shadow dashing through Grimm. I don't recommend jumping as it increases your likelihood that he will hit you with his uppercut or the red blobs he rains down on you afterwards. I don't typically try to do any damage to him during this move as it is quite fast, and I am more concerned with avoiding any damage he might do to me. The second move is a spear thrust that begins in the air and attacks downward toward you and then lunges at you from the ground position. This move is best avoided using a double jump. You can try to do a downward slash pogo hit against him during his ground lunge, but there's a large risk of taking damage if you haven't practiced. Don't try to dash through him during this move either, as he has a trail of red fire that you won't be able to avoid. The third move is the missile attack. He teleports to a spot on the map and points at you, sending 4 missiles that home at you somewhat. You can dash through these and typically get 1 to 3 hits on Nightmare Grimm during this move. The fourth move is the ground spikes. These aren't difficult to avoid, you just need to be calm and move whichever direction to get out of their path. You cannot damage him during this move. Fifth, he puffs up and becomes invulnerable, sending fireballs at you for you to jump over and dash through. You cannot damage him during this move. Sixth, he hovers stationary in the air, and the ground you are standing on will glow and then fire will erupt. This is another move that you can do significant damage to him if you are quick and get to him and control where the fire will erupt. Simply walking will keep you away from the fire. The key to this fight is patience. Don't sacrifice health in order to get a few more swings against him. Take your time, avoid all damage, and eventually you will prevail. Good luck.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.